mind. You may be surprised. Yeah, gotta get away from this illusion. For the sake of the world, this delusion. It's gotta go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the special late edition of the Atheist Experience. Our regular scheduled time was preempted, so they bumped us to 8 o'clock at night. Thanks to all of you who stayed up and joined us, and those of you who are watching live over Ustream. This is probably going to happen once a month or so. We're not completely sure yet. Today is Sunday, March 21st, 2010. I'm Matt Dillahunty, and joining me this week, Jen Peoples. And I'll get our announcements out of the way fairly quickly because I didn't even take notes on them. As I mentioned, this is a live public access television program sponsored by the Atheist Community of Austin, a nonprofit educational organization promoting positive atheism and the separation of church and state. The ACA has weekly meetings every Sunday at Romeo's on Barton Springs Road, beginning around 11:30. For more information about the ACA, you can visit www.atheist-community.org, and there you'll find a frequently asked questions page, email links, information about upcoming events, notes for the from the board meetings, that take place on the second Sunday of the month at Romeo's after the regular brunch. The only week of the month that we're not at Romeo's is the first Sunday when we host a lecture series at the Austin History Center located at the corner of 9th and Guadalupe. Lectures begin around 12:15. And normally after this show's over, we get together and go to dinner at Threadgill's, but we're not doing that today. We ate before the show started since we're starting late. So for those of you watching, you could still go down there, but we're not actually going to be there. We ate before the show. In addition, you can find more information about the things that the ACA is involved with at the website, www.atheist-community.org. If you don't get through on the telephone today, or you don't want to get through on the telephone today, you can email tv@atheist-community.org, and that goes to myself, most of the co-hosts, and some of the people behind the scenes as well. We cannot possibly answer all the email that comes in. I think I'm 80 some odd behind at the moment because I've been working on other things. We do read all of them. If you want to make sure that your email makes it through the spam filters, please include either AETV or NPR in the subject line, and that should make it through the spam filters. In addition to this program, the ACA also sponsors a bi-weekly internet audio podcast called The Nonprofits. It's hosted by Dennis Lubay, features Russell Glasser, myself, and others on occasion. You can go find out more information. Actually, that website address is wrong. It's www.nonprofitsradio without the hyphen. It's PROPHETS.com. Nonprofitsradio.com. We'll be live again next Saturday, assuming I survive my trip. Quick notes. I'll be leaving Austin on Tuesday morning to fly to Washington State. Wednesday evening, I'll be speaking at Washington State University Pullman on the superiority of secular morality, and then coming back Thursday evening, going to work Friday, then doing Nonprofits Saturday, and I don't even know if I'm on the show next Sunday. It may be Russell's week. I'm not, actually, no. Russell's normally on a week we don't do Nonprofits. Yeah. So then I'll be back for the show Sunday. Russell Glasser and I will be heading to Bradley University in Peoria, Illinois, April 9th and 10th for a 2-day atheist extravaganza, and I'll be at UT. That's not a public event. UT on April 21st, and then April 22nd, I'm going to be doing a Skype call with CFI Toronto. So if you're in any of those areas or part of any of those groups and want to participate, please seek them out, or you can drop me an email, although right now it's unlikely that I'll get around to actually answering it. Did I miss any of the announcements?
I don't think so.
I'll assume I didn't. Jen, you've got a news bit.
I do.
That you wanted to touch on.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of email from people about the State Board of Education here in Texas, which is, for those of you who have not been paying attention, our State Board of Education can really bring the crazy. And Cynthia Dunbar, the SBOE member here, she's
outgoing.
Outgoing, but she's still going to be around for a few more months. She was one of those who's instrumental in removing Thomas Jefferson from the world history curriculum. And she claimed that the reason she did this was because his inclusion wasn't germane, as she put it. even though Thomas Jefferson's writings had a lot of influence on a lot of other Enlightenment ideas out there. So anyway, of course, the truth has a way of getting out, and I've got a news release here from the Texas Freedom Network, and if those of you who are not familiar with Texas Freedom Network, that's an outstanding organization. They are really a very strong proponent of accurate science education, accurate history standards, accurate sex education. They do a great service to the education community here in Texas. And if you want to support their efforts, please go to www.tfn.org and show them some love. Anyway, they have this insider brief where they were talking about Ed Brayton from Dispatches from the Culture Wars notes that Dunbar is scheduled to appear at a rally that was organized by Janet Porter. Janet Porter is the founder of Faith to Action, which is an ultra right-wing fringe religious group. And this rally is entitled May Day 2010, A Cry to God for a Nation in Distress. And according to Faith to Action, Dunbar is going to come to May Day and repent for how we've taught our children lies, not only in revisionist history, but also evolution. How we've kicked God out of school. She will repent on behalf of the education system, and she's also going to welcome God back in. So.
Well, good for her.
I know. Cynthia, if you're listening, please don't repent on my behalf.
Yeah, if you want to actually repent, we can gather the school children of the state of Texas and the rest of the nation together in a video conference, and you can apologize to the people that you've actually harmed.
Yes. Especially all of the young people who have experienced STDs and unplanned pregnancy as a result of your nonsense, abstinence-only, fact-free sex education in Texas. So
there are groups around the nation that are doing the only thing they can. Somebody emailed to say, look, why aren't you guys doing more? What can you do? And the quick answer is this. While the ACA is a visible organization, there's limits as to what we can do. First of all, nothing they've done is against the law. These are the elected representatives that are on the State Board of Education. They can destroy it, and the only thing that they have to worry about is whether or not they get reelected. Fortunately, Dunbar didn't run for reelection. McElroy lost his bid in the primary, and there are people actually challenging them. And the question was posed, well, can't you go to the school book manufacturers and say, you know, we'd like you to correct these mistakes? Well, yeah, you could. It won't do any good because they're going to manufacture school books that they can sell based on the standards that the state has set. The good news is, having worked for one of the publishers before, and I don't have any special insider information or specifics on what the process is, I do know that they publish special editions of books. They publish inserts for states that have different standards. And if you get together in your state with your school boards and say, we need to, as a collective, go to these publishers and say, we won't accept books that were modified to conform to Texas standards. We would like you to publish different books that conform to, I don't know, real responsible education standards. That's about the most you can do. And I know that there are groups who are going after their school boards and grassroots groups that are saying, you know, we're not going to take this crap from Texas anymore. And good for them, because I'm stuck. Apart from railing about it on the show, and on both shows, and directing people to the one organization that is doing a stellar job in keeping the public aware and doing whatever they can to combat this, and that's the Texas Freedom Network. You can go to, is it tfn.org?
tfn.org.
And
yes.
the TFN Insider is their blog, where I think I posted 4 or 5 different links to their blog in the last couple of weeks while these textbook meetings were going on.
Yep.
So what did you want to talk about this evening?
Oh, well, today's topic is faking it. And
That's why we did the show later in the day.
yeah, there you go.